Hello? Oh my gosh, I can't hear anything. Can you hear me? Okay, I can't.
You can't hear me at all?
Okay, now I can. Oh my goodness.
Oh, really? Wow. So, so thank you for being with me tonight. This has been a little rough. I'm actually traveling. I'm down here by Texas A&M going through EBV. But I did not want to miss this opportunity to host you and allow you an opportunity to tell us about your great company. Um, Now there's a couple of folks chatting. Oh, there was you. So just to make sure. But thank you so much for being with me. The moment I heard about what you was doing in the pet food industry, I am not a pet owner by choice, but it's because I think that that responsibility should be taken with a lot of care and with a lot of love. And I can't provide that for more than my kids right now, so I don't do it. But I think you should also think about those things responsibly. So the moment I heard that you had a responsible pet company where you would provide nourishment, and you guys really think out these things so that they could be a benefit to them and I know that a lot of people have pets that are family members, right? They not only own them, but they actually love them like family. So before we get into the whole thing of the show, but please introduce yourself. Tell us what you're doing right now, and then tell us a little bit about the company.
Yes, thank you, Enriquez, for inviting me to this amazing opportunity. I am so excited and thrilled that you Texas. I'm in Houston, Texas. I came here after I got out of the Air Force last year. And how I ended up here was putting seven cities in a hat, and the first one I picked out was Houston. So that's my story. I didn't have a backup plan. I was just ready to go and adventure, like how we were taught in the military.
Right, right.
And while during that transition, my sister had this amazing idea that derived from her two Boston Terriers, Ari and Baro. They live in New Jersey, where I was raised and went to school and joined ADA back in 2017. And one concern that she had was Baro got allergies from something that she
Mm,
just didn't know what was happening. He was itching everywhere, and he was having issues when he was going to the bathroom. So she went to the vet, and the vet asked her a very descriptive and detailed on Baro's daily diet. Come to find out that Baro was allergic to corn and a lot of different kinds of kibbles that my sister was giving Baro. And I'm not going to bash any companies out there, but she was so determined to find other brands that fit the needs of Baro. And there
mm,
wasn't any in the market. That inspired her to say, oh my God, I need to make a difference, but I just don't know how. When I heard this idea, I fell for it because Ari came into the picture a year and a half later, and Ari was having similar issues like Baro, having allergies with
mm,
different kinds of food. She was throwing up when she was eating specific kind of treats. So when we actually did a full blown analysis on a lot of different foods and a lot of different treats and even medication, there were a lot of things that pets should not consume because their digestive
mm.
systems are different compared to humans. And my sister and I, we talked about it and we're just like, okay, let's make a difference in the pet industry and let's just give it a go. We're going to take baby steps and let's just go for the long run. And we launched our company in November. We did a family and friends round to just test out whether or not our products were in need. And our unique proposition and unique factor of how we stand out on today's market is that we are simple single ingredients that you can pronounce and that you know these ingredients by heart. And each package of treats are either dehydrated or freeze dried. And all of these natural ingredients derive from our partners in the United States, and they're from local farms. And we are here all about sustainability, helping out local businesses and communities. Therefore, we have a sustainable approach. We work with local businesses, food based businesses, and whatever ingredients that they are saying, hey, we can't do this for our customers, but you guys use it. You could freeze dry or dehydrate it. Can you guys make treats of it? So that's a sustainable option that we are doing for our local communities out today.
Well, it's amazing, that you're talking, and some people might be wondering, what does leadership have to do with pets, right? But I tell you, as I mentioned earlier, you have to be a responsible pet owner, and you also have to be a responsible person to say when you can't, right? When you can't do it. But you are diving
Mhm.
beyond the pet owner, where they are housing and they are caring and they are providing for these pets. You're making sure that what they're providing on the meal side is adequate for the makeup of a pet. And so there's a lot
Mhm.
of execution of leadership in that, because if you can think of a pet, right, in that regard, how much more would you think about a human, right? And so you're providing an avenue for people who are pet lovers to sustain them appropriately. And so I applaud your efforts in spearheading this after suffering. So, unfortunately, it was at the hand of suffering for your sister and her pets, but you come up with a great product. Now, tell us a little bit about your background in the military and your thought process into getting into entrepreneurship, because it's easier for us to get into entrepreneurship, but it's not easy.
Absolutely. And I am very honest about everything that I do. I'm very transparent, and I like to show that myself, that I am this human being, and also I showcase that through my businesses as well. I got into entrepreneurship very last minute. To be honest, I never wanted to be an entrepreneur. I never wanted to do business. I just wanted to work in the military as long as possible. And I got into security forces in the Air Force back in 2017. It was a very long, tumultuous journey. However, I am very thankful for all the connections and the tools and skills that I was able to learn from the military. So I'm very thankful that I had that experience, learned a lot, and learned how to push myself ultimately. I was very afraid of traveling. I was very afraid of a lot of things that I'm not afraid now. And the military helped me, and especially my career field helped me push my limits. I got out last year due to medical conditions that I suffer from, and it was a wise decision on my end because I needed to take care of myself. I'm this 27-year-old living, trying to live life, but sometimes my medical conditions hold me back. But I am working towards, and I want to encourage you and everybody else. If you are suffering, just speak about it, get the help that you need professionally, and um, yeah, take it from there, step by step. It's a work in progress. That's how I see it as. And entrepreneurship came about because I couldn't get hired. Everybody knows, and you know how COVID impacted employment. It was very difficult for myself and a few other veterans during that time transitioning because skill bridge programs were not taking anybody because of all the restrictions. So I had to think to myself and jot down all the skills that I know, what I have, the certifications that I had, and where I was going to fit in, worst case scenario. And for me to make a Venn diagram of what I want to do and what I know to do, and in the middle of semi I know, semi I have interest in, I made that Venn diagram to know what kind of services that I could provide as a freelancer. So I started freelancing social media, media ads, and also content creation starting in 2020. And once I got out, I did that almost full time while I was looking for a full time employment. And it wasn't easy. I applied over 650 jobs till this day. And I only got 4 callbacks. And out of 4 callbacks, I got 2 offers. And out of the 2 offers, I got disqualified. So, yes. And when you're saying it's like, oh, you got 2 offers, why did you get disqualified? Because they were giving me a pay much lower than that I anticipated based on my skills. So there was a big pay disparity and a lot of different factors that went into it. I think that entrepreneurship is a choice that you make, and I made that choice. I believe that you could be an entrepreneur and also work a 9 to 5 while you make ends meet to provide bread and butter to the table while you pursue entrepreneurship. So I'm a firm believer that, hey, if you could do 2 things at once, why not add another thing and put 3 things? Be a true hustler and build your own empire.
I love that attitude, and I tell you that your story is one that is almost repeated by many who come out of service. It is not as easy as people make it. Now, there are a lot of organizations that specialize in getting you placed and somewhat, but when we come out, we don't know what we don't know, right? And so I always tell folks that we're 1% jumping back into the lives of 99% and that don't know us, right? So, um, yes, entrepreneurship can be coupled with full-time employment. I mean, that's the goal is to get your dream and your vision out from uh, your mind and on paper and actually make it work. And you're headed that way. You were just um, grouped in. So you were selected and are participating in a program right now that facilitates some of that. Tell us about that.
Yes, I am very fortunate to be selected as a Houston ambassador, part of Bunker Labs. And how I got into Bunker Labs was by chance. My last duty station was at Walter Reed, and we had somebody that was participating in Bunker Labs at that time. And I was like, nah, this is not going to happen to me. I don't even have a business idea. I have no idea what's going to happen. However, I started this with my sister, and we saw Bunker Labs pop up, and it was on my LinkedIn. I connected with the person that I met in DC. I can't really remember his name on top of my head right now. And he was like, yeah, you should definitely try this program. I think this is a great program for you to do. Just apply. It doesn't hurt to apply. And at that time, our business was an idea phase. By the time the cohort started is probably a month um, in our business, which was this past cohort. We started in January 2022. So we were 2 months into the business, very new, but it really held me accountable to collaborate with others, to really think outside of the box and be encouraged more. I think one of the biggest setbacks that I had and a lot of insecurities that came from was, how am I going to sell? Like, how am I going to convince people to buy my product? Because I just had internal insecurities on my own. However, Bunker Labs was able to really help me make those connections and be able to be stronger and be more confident in the decisions that I was making. And I am so thankful for my cohort and my cohort members to help me through that journey. And without them, I don't think that I would be at a place that I am now. I, I just, it's a phenomenal journey. And I'm very thankful to be chosen as a Houston ambassador because I want to serve others. However, I want to learn from other people that the things that I just don't know and how I can imply it into my own personal life and in my professional life as well.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I'm glad you had that experience. I'm actually part of 22 Bravo myself, so I'm going through right now. At the same time, I was selected for the EBV program. That's why I'm in Houston. Well, actually, I'm in College Station right now, going to A&M. So I know that that the military veterans that have made it, entrepreneurs and entities like Bunker Labs, IBMF, the Rosie Network in San Diego, Dog Tag Bakery, so there's so many different organizations helping entrepreneurs out, and so we're so grateful for that. Now, folks, we're talking about leadership and pets, and it may not seem that that's the way the whole conversation is going because entrepreneurship takes on a lot of flavors and a lot of directions. I was just talking to somebody on the way here to the hotel, that, the business canvas should be something that we throw up on a whiteboard and not on paper because it changes so much sometimes once you get input from from your community, from those that will be buying. So let's talk about the business canvas and how that influenced your direction in this pet food industry, because I know probably what you started isn't where you're at right now.
I remember one quote from Sarah Blakely. She is someone that I look up to, and it's really crazy because she says her quote is, "You should launch your product, and by the first year, you should be embarrassed by your product. If you are not embarrassed by your product, you launch too late." And I know people in the military, we're sometimes perfectionists. We like to follow things to a T. We always doubt ourselves. My get-go changed by changing my mindset, and I work on my mindset every single day because I am not perfect and
Mm.
I don't strive to be perfect. And how the business was probably in November and what it is now is really different. We added a lot of different concepts, more partnerships, more collaborations, and we are scaling faster than we thought we were going to do um, when we calculated last year. We just didn't know that this was going to be a very feasible product, or people outside of New Jersey and New York are going to like this. But right now, we're working with a lot of states in the West Coast, in Southern states, and as well as the East Coast. So we are trying to find a way it could be a sustainable, long term, with a sturdy foundation business. So when I say, if you have an idea, do it. As long as it doesn't break a buck in your wallet, do it where you could buy the least amount of stuff that you need to launch it. See if there's a demand. Give it to some people or ask people to try it out. See what the reviews are, and that's basically proof of concept.
And I tell you, for the folks that are listening, we're talking about leadership and pets. We're about to talk about specifically the product because when I heard about this, I, like I mentioned earlier, I'm not a pet owner by choice, but I love the fact that care is being taken to to the pet's nutrition. And and I mentioned earlier as well that some pets are family members to folks. And so let's talk about the product now. How you get to it, and what different types there are.
Yes, so my sister and I, we fully bootstrapped it. We are all for those bootstrap founders. Bootstrap as long as you can. And we are firm believers of that. We actually have a commercial freeze dryer, commercial dehydrator, and we
Mm.
actually have these machines in a commercial facility in New Jersey. We are very fortunate on how things just panned out for us financially. We are very thankful for our loyal customers and our friends and family for helping us. I think that our products comes from my sister. My sister is the one, and she's the CEO. She comes up with amazing ideas. She comes up out of the world, never before seen treats, and even food ideas, and even concepts that does everything for Aribaro. And within Aribaro company, and without her, we will never exist. And the products, we actually look what's not on the market and sometimes what's on the market, and we infuse both of those. And the thing is that we want something that's very cost efficient and also made with less than 5 ingredients per package, because that's what we stand for. We want to be sustainable, we want to be healthy and natural. We don't want any of that BS ingredients out there. And many people do not know that natural ingredients could be very deceiving. If you look behind the nutrient facts, and many people are like, oh, this is healthy, it's all natural, but is it really? Like palm oil, cornstarch, brown brown oil. There are so many different kinds of oil, sugars, and even like flours. And consuming a lot of peanut butter or those nut butters for your pets is not the best choice, but they consider it's all natural. So you really need to see what the nutrition facts are and what you are actually feeding your pet.
Now you mentioned, and that's a great point because all natural is very ambiguous, right? You could not be actually getting something good, and it could be all natural, right? So, or at least fit under that umbrella. Now, you mentioned safe and healthy and nutritious, and you also talked about that you can even eat this as a human. So, how does that pan out?
Believe it or not, I tried almost 95% of our products, and even the products are going through R&D, research and development at this point. And there are a few products that we could actually consume and humans actually might like. And a lot of our friends and family are like, "Oh my God, when are you guys gonna make more?" And these are your chickpea sweet potato nuggets. So it has only three ingredients: chickpea, sweet potato, and coconut flour, and we just dehydrated them for over like 20 hours, and we just eat them, and they're like, oh, this is pretty good, like no salt, no preservatives, nothing, all natural. And they're like, this is pretty, I was like, healthy, low in calories, very savory. I was like, oh, thank you, we eat it ourselves too. And then we have the veggie mix that has carrots, beets, broccoli, sweet pumpkin, and they're freeze dried, so we're like, oh, we just nibble on them, so humans could eat them as well. The ultimate favorite, both humans and pets, more so humans, are the freeze-dried bananas and freeze-dried mangoes. They're
Mm.
fruits, so, and they're freeze-dried. And we actually source these mangoes and bananas from our local supermarkets and local farms. So it differs, but it's all organic and it's all natural. And it's freeze-dried over 45 hours. And for us, um, when we manufacture these, we actually make them in small batches, which means that it has higher quality and it's better for a longer term shelf life as well.
Yeah, I love that. The fact that you can now go on a hike with your pet and not pack two types of treats is it's enticing, right? To be able to go on hikes and go on your little trip with your pet and just pack one thing. But I love the fact that you've included ingredients that are edible by even humans. Is that tells that that a lot of care is taken into the choice of your ingredients, and so I love it. The reason I had you on the show is because I do love it. I want people to know about it, and so if they wanted to get more information, if they were pet lovers out there and wanted to get more information about you and the company, how would they do that?
Yes, I would love you guys to follow up with us. Our Instagram is Aribaro Company, and our website is aribaro.com. And in regard, especially for you and your viewers, we're going to give you guys a limited time offer, which is a 20% off on your first order purchase through Aribaro. And it's all the
Wow.
items on the website. And
And
yes, the coupon code that you put in is Aloha, all capitalized 20. Aloha 20, and you get 20% off for you and your viewers for a limited time only.
outstanding. Well, folks, I'm gonna put the website in the chat, but let me put the Aloha. Is that all lowercase Aloha 20 or?
It's all capital
Okay,
Aloha 20.
I love it. Thank you so much. That I have neighbors. They have pets. I'm gonna send them this right now after we're talking, so they can get on there and get some. But Mario says passion, purpose, persistence. Thank you, brother, for joining us tonight. He's over on the west side of the of Florida. But so thank you for that, for sharing that. I'll make sure to have your website as part of the chat, or you might want to just throw it in there yourself. But in either case, we'll have it before the night's up. And what you're doing as a veteran what you're doing as a business owner, a co-owner, and in operations, what you're doing for our pet community and those that are pet lovers is amazing. I want to continue to support you and your sister and your endeavors. So anything that we can do on our part, please make sure to let us know. And folks, if you're listening and you are a pet lover, you are a pet owner, it is incumbent upon you to continue to love them in multiple ways. One way is how you feed them. It's easy. Yeah, you get leftovers, you throw it in the. That might not be so good, but there is a product, right? Aribaro, and they are full swing selling their stuff, and so we want you to support them. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. Thank you for that 20% off. I'm going to share that on there and make sure people are aware of it. Is there anything else that you would like for us to know? Anything that you guys are being involved with, or any event that you'll be at that maybe they could visit?
Yes, I will let you know if we're going to have a big event through Aloha Find a Life, hopefully in the future. But right now, we are very focused on our collaborations with different partners at this time. I'm sorry, but I can't disclose it until we're official. But if everybody wants to check out an Instagram page, and also if there's any suggestions, we love suggestions, and we will always appreciate any kinds of feedback that you might need, or your friends with pups or cats even need.
Outstanding. Well, folks, we're going to make sure that you have all of that information in the chat, in the comments. Please, if you're looking at this and it's a replay, go through it. It's a wonderful company doing wonderful things for pets. Thank you once again for being with us, folks. And we'll be uh, next week. We will not be having Aloha Friday Live. I will have to push that to next week because I'm over here in college now, getting this education. But we'll see you 2 weeks from now. And we wish everybody a great Friday. Jolie, thank you so much. Uh, we will keep in contact. We're obviously in the Bunker Labs family now, and we'll see about future support that we can provide. But for tonight, we're talking about leadership of pets. Be a responsible pet owner. Give them the right food, and Aribaro is making sure that you can do that. So, aloha, everybody. We'll see each other in 2 weeks. Be blessed. God bless you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.